This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin vs. the World. I'm SeptumSin. And today, I'm going to show you what I got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So, today, I have some interesting things going on. I am doing something a little bit different. Yes, Jake's not with me. He's got some troubles, so we can't meet. And he doesn't have any pickups. So I said, you know what? Let's just meet online. We're going to do that. And that's how we did our meeting Monday. But that's all right. He didn't have any pickups really to show. I have quite a few. And I'm doing a lot of pickups this time. And the reason why this week it's a lot of pickups is because, well, I have these things. I mean, if you look at it, I've got things, these long boxes, and I'm bringing one over here to show you, like this, or like what's behind me on the shelf here. These things, when you've got something like, say, the Craigland incident, which review coming shortly, is sticking out like this, it pushes it out, makes it harder to stay on the shelf. So this is all of those movies that are kind of pushing those little side caps off. So a very random assortment of stuff. So let's get started. So we're going to start with the Arrow release, so a film that I have not seen yet, and some people would consider me a horror fan because I do cover a lot of B-horror. I didn't even watch horror films for the longest time. Not until, like, right after college. Hey, Rosie. There's Rosie right here. And this is one called Brain Damage. This is supposedly a classic. And I got it for a decent deal, so I was like, yes, I want to get a hold of it. The original copy was out of print and kind of pricey, so I was like, nah. So, meet Elmer. He's your friendly neighborhood cat parasite with the ability to introduce euphoric hallucinations in his hosts. But these LSD trips come with a price tag. When young Brian comes under Elmer's addictive spell, it's not long before he finds himself scouring the city streets in search of his parasite friend's preferred food source, brains. So kind of like a zombie type thing. I've never seen it. I know a lot of you people are horror fans. Let me know if this is any good. I'm sure it'll be like, what? You haven't seen that? How dare you? You're an affront to horror. So, let's talk anime. So, I've been trying to condense a little bit of my collection and upgrade when I can. And if I can do both for cheap, then I will. So, enter Death Note. Now, I had the two series DVD releases for the longest time. They're about that thick. This was $10. So not only am I upgrading it to a sturdier format of Blu-ray, but I'm also thinning this bad boy a lot. So for those of you who don't know what Death Note's about, it's about this dude. He wants to be in the police one day. He finds this book. And he's told by this angel of death that anybody who writes the name of the book and that he knows, basically he needs to know their face and their name, and if he writes their name in the book, they die. And there's various things there. So he goes on a killing spree of criminals. And eventually, this guy here, L, who's sort of like a eccentric Sherlock Holmes type, ends up trying to find him. And they end up in a game of wits. It's a very, very good series up until a point. Now, some people disagree with me, but to me, after this point, and those of you who watch the series, you know what point I'm talking about. It just isn't the same. The two live-action Japanese films is the third one. I haven't seen it yet. But the two earlier on live-action Japanese films are much better. I like how they end it. But this one still is pretty good. It's a classic in many ways. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. At least the first half. So, for Inside Movies Galore, we actually covered an original Western, which was a Sergio Corbucci spaghetti Western called Django. Arrow released this. I wouldn't mind if Arrow did a Django collection so I could get the other films. I'm just not all that interested in all the other films, but I did want to I want to try and eventually collect every film we've covered for Inside Movies Galore. I've got a lot of them. I do. I have a lot of them. I just don't have all of them. Not yet. But I will. I will. So Django is this guy. He drags around a coffin with him. And he's, this lone gunfighter. A man with no name style. And it's a pretty good movie. Fairly good Western. If you like spaghetti Westerns, you'll like Django. It's a good film. I look forward to seeing it again on Blu-ray. I only got to see kind of a ripped cut that was provided for the show, and I will look forward to seeing it in a cleaner format. Rosie is just all about attention today. So, I've been wanting to get some cool films, and I've heard this one from Scorpion Releasing is pretty good, this Dr. Death. I remember when I was a kid, I had actually come up with some comic characters, and Dr. Death was the bad guy. So, Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls. Like I said, Scorpion Releasing did this. And it looks like a fun movie here. Meet charming, flamboyant Dr. Death. A 1,000-year-old man who has mastered the art of selective reincarnation, promising to keep one's soul alive forever. The catch? He needs a fresh body to host it for you. And finding willing volunteers is an impossibility. When Fred's beloved wife dies, he refuses to believe she is gone forever. So, this is, of course, that is how things move on. Yes, you're attention-seeking today. Yes, you are. So, in any case, Dr. Death. Looks so much fun. Looks like a lot of fun. Alright, so it's around Easter time, so I had to include something Easter level. I was in Walmart, I saw this. The Easter Bunny Massacre, I mean, you know. Maybe it would be something I should have watched. Maybe I should have watched... Gosh, what was it? Watch This with Bunny the Killer Thing. The back reminds me of this short film that I watched about this kid who catches the Easter Bunny and then he gets turned into an Easter Bunny. And it was a horror short, and I can't think of what film that was from, but it was interesting. So, just as it looks like fun, let's see here. A night of wild partying to celebrate the end of high school turns deadly when one of the classmates is murdered, with no one having a clue who killed her. Not wanting to destroy their own lives, they bury her body and tell everyone that she simply ran away. A year later, the remaining friends are mysteriously invited to an Easter celebration. They arrive believing that the mystery that has been haunting them for the past year will finally be answered. Unfortunately, they're dead wrong. I like this type of film. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably going to enjoy the hell out of it. I really. It has all the timelines. So I've talked about this a little bit. I upgraded Empire Records, which is a great film. You've probably seen some of the clips.
Who knows where thoughts come from? They just appear.
That I've had of this, and it's just a general fun film. I mean, if you're a fan of Clerks, High Fidelity, just in general, this was a fun one. Everybody wanted to work in a movie store back in the time where this was done, just because it made it look so fun. And that's essentially what it is. A bunch of people working at a record store and kind of doing it Clerk style, finds out that it could be sold to one of the bigger companies, and they're having to work out their own personal drama, plus maybe try and save the record store that they so love. Really good film. Glad I upgraded. The DVD has some flaws in it, where it's very difficult to pause for long periods. It starts up when you don't want it to. It's kind of messed up in a lot of ways, so this is a good upgrade for me. I found this at Plan 9, which is kind of cool too, which is a record store. Perfectly done. Alright, so Dollar Tree. There is a film here called Entanglement. I love the cover. It's got a little alphabet soup there in the back. While searching for the meaning of his existence, Ben Layton uncovers a family secret that leads him to a woman named Hannah. But when he and Hannah inevitably fall in love, his life becomes increasingly and strangely complicated. Ben starts to realize that everything is amazingly and incredibly connected, and that the world might just be more inexplicable than he ever imagined. That's fun. Even has a behind-the-scenes featurette. Fun stuff on that. I'm sure it'll be entertaining. Now, one I actually put up, I think it was up for Versus Awards for stunt work, was Enter the Fat Dragon. This was a pretty cool one last year. It's a well-paced comedy. You've got a cop who really good at martial arts as he does, but he does something that gets him basically benched behind a desk, and he ends up just getting depressed and gaining a lot of weight. And then he gets a chance to go right back at it, but he's still kind of out of shape when he does it. It's a fun film. It's very funny at times. Amazing action scenes. This is a great martial arts comedy. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I would recommend it. If you like martial arts comedies, you like Jackie Chan type stuff, you would like this. It is a really fun film. All right. Almost halfway. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, I should be talking about special features while I'm thinking about it. I think it does have some on here. It doesn't list any, though. Let's see here. No, it doesn't. No. In any case, I got this one from What Movie One. His store link is down below. Sometimes you can find some pretty cool deals. He picks up some unique stuff during thrifting, so you should check it out. A dollar store find that I had to get with Matt Damon and Oscar Isaac and Julianne Moore is Suburbicon. I've heard a lot about this film when it came out. I just never got to it. From the director George Clooney, the small, idyllic town of Suburbicon is the perfect place for Gardner Lodge to make a home. But beneath this tranquil surface lies a disturbing reality where nothing is as it seems, and when a break-in leads to shocking murder of his wife, Gardner must navigate the town's underbelly of deceit and violence to protect his family from further harm. So again, sounds fun. It's not got much in the way of special features, but that's alright. It's one where it says widescreen as a feature. I don't think it was that old. But still fun. 2017. No, not old at all. Widescreen is not a feature anymore. It's expected. All right. So I went ahead and I got this. I love Romero movies, and it was at the Dollar Tree, which is Romero's Survival of the Dead. I like some good stuff, and unfortunately, George Romero has passed. He's no longer with us. This is the new film from Master of Horror, George A. Romero. Picks up where Diary of the Dead leaves off on a small island off the coast of Delaware. Live two families locked in a struggle for power and control over the fate of the undead. So some fun stuff there. Looks like a good thing, you know. Zombie movies are entertaining. A lot of times with these movies, the most drama comes from the survivors. So that's going to be fun. So, classic TV. I got this a while back from Walmart, one of their giant cases, and that's the series Taxi. I used to be up all night watching stuff at Nick at Night when I was a teenager, and then later on, and Nick at Night showed a lot of these classic TV shows. So you're probably like, classic? I watched that when it was airing. Well, I did not, but I did watch it once it came into this, and I love Taxi. It was fun. It was Danny DeVito's big start. It had just a lot of classic actors and comedians in it. It's well worth a watch. It's about a bunch of people. Well, it's about a taxi service. It's really, that's the thing. Before Uber, taxis were the only thing, unless you want to take the bus. So, very good. Very much worthwhile. Check it out. Andy Kaufman, that's what I was thinking of. So this next one is an anime, and it's one that I refused to get until I could find it for the price. Best Buy put 2 series on sale for like $7.99 a piece, and then they erased all of the people who ordered it, saying, well, it was a mistake, sorry, bye. And I waited until I could get it for that price tag. And I've never seen the other one for that price tag, which is Bungo Stray Dogs. But I have seen this one for that price tag, which is the Essentials version of Teasing Master Takagi-san. I don't know whether I will like this one or not. Tired of being teased by his classmate Takagi, Nishikata vows to get back at the girl that's made him blush countless times. After all, if you blush, you lose. It's getting vengeance isn't so easy when every attempt blows up in his face. It looks cute. I'll look into it and see. But, again, it's a cute one. So one I've been meaning to get a hold of for the ages is a series that a lot of people... I was just aged out of this when it started, but a lot of people really liked it, and that was Teen Titans. I wanted to get it on Blu-ray. I wanted to get it for under $20. I found it for under $20, so I went ahead to get it. Warner Archive collection. Again, a lot of people swear by this show. They love it. I really liked comics back in those days, so I probably would have loved this show back then, and I'm curious about it now. I've read some Teen Titans in my time, so it'll be fun. Let's see here. So let's see. It's a full plate of crime-fighting chaos in this 6-disc collection chronicling all 5 seasons of the hit TV series and the Teen Titans future Trouble in Tokyo. So you got everything in one spot. I also like well, they call him Slade, but that he is one of the major villains. I love Deathstroke. He was just such a cool character. Deadpool was actually mostly based off of him, so it's also a fun thing there. I swear this cat. She's like, so you want to be my co-host, huh? You want to be my co-host? Yeah, you want to be my co-host. Almost done. So we've got the sequel to the Tekken movie, Tekken, Kazuya's Revenge. A friend of mine was selling his copy of the Blu-ray. No, this was Dollar Tree. Never mind. This was a Dollar Tree pickup. I went ahead and upgraded my version for this. I had to. I had the original thing. I love the Tekken games. I've seen the first movie a couple of times. It's just, they're fun, action-y games. They just are. And that is a fun, action-y movie. Much like Dead or Alive. Just enjoyable. So from the hands of David Sterling, back in his old cover format, is actually not long after he started doing Blu-ray, which is Theater of Horror. I want to say this is probably an anthology series. 4 actors go to an audition for a new experimental play in New York City. They had no idea they would be auditioning for their lives. So, it's hard to read it because you got the little blood spill there, but I kind of like this art style. I have it for my copy of Things 2, which is now no longer in print, and sadly is not in the Blu-ray update. Sad. Because it's one of the better ones. But it is what it is. So, again, I had to go with this sci-fi horror classic, Them. It's been used so much, but giant alien ants, you can't do much better than that. It's great that you have this up to date. It's got behind the scenes archival footage, montage on the design and operation of giant ants, and a theatrical trailer. So it's just kind of fun. Warner is re-releasing that. It's just great to see it. So this is one that I'd heard about for a while, and because all of Filmz released it and What Movie One was selling it, I said, okay, I'll just have to get it. So this is The Thing with Two Heads. Essentially, you got an old man who is dying, and he finds a way to put his head on another person, which case he did this with a particular criminal. And the idea was going to be he was going to take over the body and then kill the criminal. Well, the criminal escapes and goes on to prove that he's not really a criminal, that he was framed. Now, what happens to our head? Well, you'll have to find out. It's kind of like it's an Odd Couple on the Lam story. No real special features on it, but it is a classic film. It's worth seeing at least once. So I was sent this with my Things box set, kind of making up for the Things 2 not being there at the time, which is The Other Things. There were 2 Things back in the day, and this was the other one. And in 1989, it became the first Canadian shot on Super 8 gore shocker commercially released on VHS. Today, it remains perhaps the most bizarre, depraved, and mind-boggling chunk of Canucksploitation. I love that word, Canucksploitation. Ever unleashed upon humanity. Adult film supervisor Amber Lynn and co-writer-producer Barry J. Gillis star in the surreal saga about 2 friends who visit a remote cabin only to discover a womb of monstrous horror that demands graphic dismemberment. So there's an audio commentary on it, audio viewing party with the cast, testimonials on Things, with various people there. Things 20th anniversary cast and crew reunion. Behind the scenes with star Amber Lynn. Vintage Barry J. Gillis TV appearance. And original trailers. 1989. I was 10. Or 11, depending on when it came out. When this was out. That's that shows you right there. 3 more. So one of the ones that we covered for Tammy's birthday was a William Castle film called The Tingler. This is an interesting one with Vincent Price, where he tries to isolate this feeling like we get when we are scared. Like it's this creature that he calls the Tingler, kind of like you feel this tingling up your spine. And he tries to use the science of fear. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Not my favorite of Castle's work, but still quite fun. He had little electrodes on the seats of the theater to give everybody a little tingle at times. He was a very creative director. I don't think they could do those type of stunts in theaters these days. So you got commentaries, new I Survived the Tingler interview, new Unleashing Percepto, an interview with the publicist, Scream for Your Lives, William Castle and the Tingler featurette, William Castle's drive-in scream scene, original scream scene, original 1959 theater lobby. So that you can actually hear the audience as they react, which is really cool. Theatrical trailer and still gallery. So a lot of special features on that bad boy. So one I know that my friend Dane will be happy about me having is the series The Tin Man. He spoke very, very highly of it. Very interesting little mini-series. I have yet to see it. I came close to watching it when it came on. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Hordes of winged monkeys, bats, a shape-shifting dog, a cyberpunk sorceress can all be found in the vast hidden underworld known as the OZ. So it's a Zoe Deschanel run. So we have some behind the scenes on the set. Nick Williams' wizard tricks, hilarious gag reel, interview with the cast and crew. A lot of cool stuff on this. Alright, we're down to the last one, which is a dollar store pickup called Tower of Blood. Looks interesting. 30 floors, 500 tents, 0 survivors. When a group of young friends gather at an abandoned apartment building for an illegal party, they think they have found the perfect secret hideaway. But they are not the only people in the building. A maniacal escaped hospital patient is hiding out there as well, with only a machete and murder on his mind. Now, as an all-night party becomes a terrifying bloodbath, everyone is running for their lives. Looks like fun. And it's going to be worth $1 or $1.25. Can't remember when I got it. Still, that's there. Well, that's kind of cleaned up my sides of the shelves. I still have plenty of pickups left. But I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button. Hit some subscribe. Kick Rosie here some love. And share. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.